Before we get into our next episode of GameGO, I wanted to mention a very special announcement. Rick and Morty will be back this Sunday on Adult Swim.
Woo!
July 30th. And to, we have a special guest here. Let me. Hey, Rick, are you excited? Morty? I'm Sonorith. No, I'm going to call you Morty, all right? It's because you look like a Morty. I think it's been a long time coming, Morty, and we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's our darkest year yet, but I think we're gonna have a lot of good times, Morty. Oh, all right. Well, anyway, welcome to GameGO.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to GameGO Podcast, a podcast where we talk about video games and whatever else we want to talk about. I am H8BitHero, and here is Sonorith.
Hey, guys. How you doing? Hope you're staying cool. Unless you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Stay warm. The seasons are reversed down there. A lot of cool stuff to talk about this week. First of all, though, I just want to really get down to personal level. I just, as a personal request to 7-Eleven, please bring back the peach lemonade Slurpee. It was delicious. I had one, and then you guys got rid of it. It was there for a week, and it's hot, and I want one.
I hear tale of this Slurpee, this flavored Slurpee.
Yeah, it was delicious. The best of both peach and lemonade worlds, and now it's gone.
All combined in a nice, cool Slurpee.
Yeah, so this episode goes out to peach lemonade Slurpee. We miss you.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. In a happier news, San Diego Comic-Con was this weekend, so that's a lot of cool information if you're interested, and we're going to have some video game stuff to talk about coming up. The first thing actually is related to Marvel. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite revealed 4 new characters, not to the series, but to the game that are going to be on the roster. Nemesis, Hagar, and Frank West are coming from Capcom, and Marvel is getting Spider-Man.
That's unbalanced. That's 1 of 3.
I think that Marvel had more people before this. And his super is really cool. I don't know if I showed you yet, but Spider-Man starts beating up on the guy. His spider sense goes off, and then he jumps out of the way to avoid, pumpkin bombs coming to attack him.
Oh, okay. All right. So inadvertently, what's-his-face? One of the goblins is helping him out?
Yeah, and it's cool. He does those, twisting jumps, in the movies and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks really cool. More comic video game news. Telltale Games announced a couple of new seasons for their series.
Yeah, this is kind of surprising because some of this... There was another tweet that came out a little while ago from most other news outlets. I don't know if it was straight from them. But saying, don't expect any of this anytime soon. It kind of even led me to believe they were going to be canceled. Yeah,
The Wolf Among Us 2 was alleged to be just a dead project. They weren't going to do anymore. They did announce, though, that in 2018 they will be releasing the second... they didn't really call it Season 2, just seemed like a straight sequel. And Walking Dead, the final season, will be coming next year, too. So if you've been following Clementine's adventures through the last 3 games, this will be your chance to wrap up that adventure. Put a nice big bow on her as a character.
Yeah. Finish that story up.
Yeah, but you won't have to wait as long for their other announcement. Batman, The Enemy Within, which is the second season of the Batman Telltale series, will be coming August 8th with the episode called The Enigma, and it's going to be focused on Riddler, presumably.
Okay.
Yeah, and your save will carry over from the previous season. And I think we're going to be playing
damn well better, right?
Yeah, that's kind of their thing. It's currently available, the first season's currently available on the Humble Bundle. So for $15
yeah, actually, isn't right now their Humble Bundle is everything?
Pretty much. I mean, you're getting... Not Back to the Future or... I don't know, yeah. I mean, check it out.
It's a lot of... Yeah, the Humble Bundle right now is a lot of Telltale games. A ton of them.
Yeah, and so that'll be August 8th. And August 22nd, Guardians of the Galaxy Episode 3, More Than a Feeling, will be releasing, and we'll be streaming and playing that.
More Than a Feeling.
Yeah.
Fair use.
I mean, we're criticizing it. It's a nice song.
Fair use.
That's how it works, right?
I guess.
All right, Pokemon Go had their big fan festival this last weekend.
Yeah, what exactly was all this?
They were gonna celebrate the year of Pokemon Go since the game, game came out last year. They sold tickets or wristbands to this event, and they were $20, and so there were like 20,000 people in the park.
Okay,
it's a big park, but predictably the game suffered. People were unable to play too, very very long. A lot of issues basically with the server around the area. And some people came from like Germany. I read one or Japan to go to this event.
Wow.
Yeah. So attendees were given $100 of in-game coins as compensation, and then also refunds at later on.
Oh, okay. All right. That's as best as you can do.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I mean, I can't say it's as simple as just saying like, "Yep, we have the servers." Maybe there's more stuff at play here. I don't know exactly.
It's just kind of weird. They know.
Yeah,
they know what to expect. It's
a big concentration. I feel like maybe there's like I said, I don't know exactly what it takes to.
They need to find some way to limit the stuff to an operating level that they can handle.
Yeah,
it's a maximum occupancy. It's not something new,
They were probably just being a little overambitious with this celebration. Although everybody who attended did receive a legendary in their account, and they're finally available to raid out in the world. Lugia and Articuno were the first because Team Mystic won the challenge or whatever.
Okay, all right.
So Moltres and Zapdos are presumably going to follow soon, and we'll go catch them all. I have a friend from work who already tried to catch an Articuno, I believe, and he failed too because there weren't enough people.
What do you mean? Like there needs to be a certain amount of people there for him to show up?
No, you have to take their health down within a certain time limit, and if you don't have enough people doing enough damage,
then you can't do it in that time limit. Gotcha.
Yeah. However, the CEO for Niantic, John Hanke, he was sitting down with people and just having like conversations with them about the game and about their travels, and like it just seemed like a really. He basically took blame for it and said, I should have prepared my team for it. He canceled interviews to like talk with his fans.
Yeah. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, it seemed for the people that did get a chance to talk to him that really made their day, despite the troubles that the game was encountering. And I feel like there's only so much he can do at that point, but I think taking the time to sit down and with his fans or fans of the game, to talk to them, it's a very cool move. And I don't think it was just a PR thing to like go out there and talk to them.
Yeah, it's kind of scary because it can always go both ways. Well, the fans still have every right to be upset.
Yeah, apparently when he went to the stage to start the event, people were saying "fix the game" or "F you, John."
Oh damn!
Which it's like, dude, that's
provide
no
us
longer
this free service that we're feeling entitled to now, but some of us paid into. So yeah.
It's no longer you're commenting anonymously. You're going to this event and you're screaming at somebody.
Yeah, at a person.
Yeah,
a human being.
Yeah,
he's got legs and arms and stuff. That makes people.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that what he did was he didn't need to do that. He could have just tweeted the problem away or ignored it. So hopefully we see more of this from people in those positions.
Right.
Where if they do make a mistake, just own it. Like talk to the people. Yeah.
Do it right.
I know when No Man's Sky came out, and that was a bit of a disappointment. The Sean Murray, he like just disappeared on Twitter for like a month or two.
Yeah, some say he's still gone to this day.
If you take a picture of him, we'll pay you money for it.
No,
Spider-Man style, not like weird stuff. Anyway, I think communication is definitely the way to go. So props to John for that. Hopefully they get the game all fixed up and people can enjoy it.
Yeah. Like I said, they just should be planning a little bit better for what they can actually handle, I feel.
If you were looking to get your hands on a Super Nintendo Classic, pre-orders are available at Walmart, but there.
Wait, no, right, no. I clicked it.
Okay, well, you know what? Let me fix that. They're no longer available at Walmart.
They're all gone.
Yeah. It looks like Walmart really messed it up. This time, they put the listing up a little too early for the pre-orders. So a lot of people that did pre-order it, even though it said it was successful, they're finding out that their pre-orders have been canceled.
Yep.
Which is, that sucks.
It's like getting in line and then finding out, oh, that wasn't it.
That wasn't real Santa. That was just one of his helpers at the mall. Man, what a deception.
But then, having to try to get in a second line, though. So you have to go find another mall Santa and hope that one's the real one. Man, I hope these kids know how to use the buses.
Yeah, that sucks. They'll put them up again when they finally do get the pre-orders, and I mean, hopefully anybody that did get it the first time will be able to repeat that success, because otherwise that'd be really disappointing.
I mean, I imagine that with this kind of demand, it's almost a lotto type thing, man. I don't think that any of the... You'd have to be crazy stupid, lightning strike, lottery winning luck.
Yeah, because
to
if the
get
website
in
doesn't go
one
down,
line, then into a second one for these things as limited as they're gonna be.
Yeah,
that's upsetting.
I did hear that Think Geek had a bunch that they were selling or pre-ordering, but they're all in bundles. So the cheapest one's like $140 with other stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
that's kind of a crappy thing that a lot of the Switch. I know that that's how GameStop got me. I ended up getting the Mario Kart 8 bundle.
Are you disappointed with the bundle at all, though?
The pricing of the
items, the wheels,
the wheels. I was really disappointed in those. Like, I found them online, like Nintendo ones for $12. Yeah, those are Nyko third-party ones, and I think they ended up being like $30-$40 in that bundle like that, because the whole thing was like $420 or something like that, $410. Yeah, is I think after tax like $423 or something like that. I laughed.
All right, yeah.
But yeah, the whole price altogether, yeah, those are pretty freaking inflated.
Yeah.
Game, the sticks, and that. Yeah, it was a fairly inflated price for that, but it was in a forced bundle, and it's like, well, I need me a Switch right now.
Yeah.
Trying to keep up with this stuff, I want that really bad, so. Got it. It's kind of a practice, I think, that's going to start happening with limited availability stuff like this.
I think I don't mind it with ThinkGeek because I think that's going to deter scalpers. You're not going to buy 10 of these knowing that you're only going to get,
that is definitely an effect of it. It kind of sucks that it comes at an unrelated greater cost.
Yes.
I want my Nintendo dealie, and I only want that. I don't need any of that item itself is the frill. Why the frill is coming with, I can't imagine what would be better or what would make it more exciting.
A Nintendo Classic.
I mean, that's not going to be the accessory that comes with it for like another $20.
Here's your Super Nintendo Classic, and it's daddy. It's like, well, sold. Yeah, I mean, like I said, hopefully this deters scalpers from buying 10 of them, knowing they're going to get these other items that probably won't sell as well.
Yeah, they'll have to make up with those sales, and that just won't happen with those.
I think you're going to get people that are definitely going to like hold on to these and play them.
And like I said, the only reason I ended up with those Nyko ones is because it came in a bundle. So that gets rid of their inventory, so they win. This deters scalpers because how the hell are you going to resell those at a... Yeah,
Nintendo's beating them, so it's like...
Yep.
Nintendo bought them all and is scalping them. All right, so we made it. We're famous now. Somebody at Archie Comics was listening to the last episode and our complaints about Sonic.
Yeah.
And they decided to cut Sonic off.
I'm just amazed that we've become such influencers, you know?
Yes, yeah.
I mean, I need to go tell my mom that I killed the Sonic comic series.
Franchise. No, Archie Comics is canceled not canceled, that they ended the series after a long time. But IDW Comics is going to be publishing Sonic comics now. And Sega said they wanted to head into a different direction with it. I think this is a good move. Archie seems like a very wholesome, even if it's a little strange, comic series or line. IDW has done Bill and Ted, Planet of the Apes, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I think this is a better home for Sonic if they want to get into more, not necessarily mature, but just...
anthropomorphic animals?
Less whimsical comic material.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully it's a good change. And in other news, Doomfist is finally going to be available on the 27th. That is Thursday. Doomfist. Yeah, I'm excited to try him, and I really would love to see if they fixed his numbers or, if there's anything that they changed.
To be honest, I'm excited that he's coming in, but I am a god-awful DPS. I am not great at DPS. I play tank mostly, and I've been getting a lot better at support heals, but I am not good at DPS. So I'm still excited as hell that he's coming in here, because it is going to change up. All right, cool. This gives me a new puzzle with my other characters to go ahead and solve every time I see Doomfist, I'm going to get scared again.
For a different reason.
Yeah. I'm going to get worried. It's going to give me a whole nother rush of adrenaline every time that I run into him in a hallway. I don't know how things are going to go, how bad things are going to go at first, because they will. I learn through failure a lot.
It really depends on who you're playing as. A character like Reinhardt, D.Va, or Orisa, like, they have shields, but he can just punch right through them. They're not projectiles.
Right.
But a character like Mei, she can absolutely bait him into attacking and then freeze herself, and now unfreeze, and he has no, like, escapes.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, and there's a lot of characters
that have different... you want him to use all his abilities first.
To jump on you as you freeze yourself, and then once those are wasted, then just start freezing him.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, all the DPS have, like, very different movement styles. Like, Pharah has a jetpack. Junkrat can, like, knock himself up onto buildings with his bombs. Genji and Hanzo have the double jump or dashing.
Aerial people aren't safe from him, huh? Because of his uppercut?
I'm not sure how the reach is on that.
I know that, like, he can easily get onto the roof of, like, single-story buildings with that thing. And I'm pretty sure that,
But that might be it, though. Like, he uses his ability to get up there, and then that's it.
I could, yeah. I guess I would imagine that he, from up there, he's going to have to wait a little bit. Can get a little bit up higher.
Which might get him killed. But, we'll see. We'll try him out and form a verdict on the new character. So we played a couple of new games this week. Oh, 2 new games. One pretty old one, 3 years old.
It's actually not... It's weird. It's not that old, though. It does feel...
It is the first in a line of, like, 5 or 6 games, so it feels much older than it really is.
But, finally did the long overdue run of FNAF. So, Five Nights at Freddy 1. I grabbed all of them and gonna start from the first to the end, because it's something that, I've delved into the lore through MatPat and Game Theory, and I fell in love with that stuff. It was pretty crazy from a former aspiring designer's perspective. It was pretty amazing to see how this all fell into place. And I had never tried it myself. I like streaming. It's like, why the hell haven't I?
Yeah.
And it sure as hell showed. Like, we got a lot more viewers than usual and a ton of views on that video. Pretty amazing. Just that game is great.
It was creepy too. We're playing at night.
Basic as we were playing last night, like from 11 to maybe 2. Because we put in like a good 3.5 hours into it. We got up to night 5, right?
We got to night 5 and we just kept losing there.
Yeah, I don't 100% understand Freddy. I think the only reason we got past night 4...
his laughter. That was bizarre.
It's something about his laugh, but I think the only reason we got past 4 is because maybe luck. He didn't attack until way, way late. Like the Golden Freddy song, or his song started up.
Yeah. We
watched him like from the left window just light up. But almost immediately, as soon as it started, we got through. That's where like the magic of that game is at. That anticipation, that fright that you're just sitting there like, is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? Is the jump scare gonna hit? Is the jump scare gonna hit? It's like, it's freaking, this guy, Scott Cawthon, the pedigree that he's got is really weird. Have you ever seen his history?
No.
Christian guy. So he had done nothing but family-oriented or Christian straight-up games.
Wow.
He drew a lot of criticism in his 3D models and animations. People would say that they look like robot or animatronic. They look a little too puppet-like.
Oh, weird.
I think he took this and flipped it on its head, and then that's where he ended up coming up with this Five Nights at Freddy stuff.
Yeah, wow.
Like, all that lore, that's what made me end up falling in love with it, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And just knowing that. And now, like, going through it, it's like, good God, I hate that I haven't done this before, or that I haven't done this before. And the game is just, it's amazing how simple it is. This is just a few, like, I think they're still GIFs. They're not even actually 3D models, I don't think. And, like, you're just watching a bunch of stills being creepy in really creative ways. It's... Yeah. game was done well. It seems like something that could have been done just really elaborately back in the days of like Newgrounds, when Newgrounds was like super big in Flash. I feel like this game could have been done in that. I've seen more complex things done in old school Flash games. And yeah, this guy just does a lot with very, very, very minimalist resources and style. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, when we're playing, like all the sounds that happen in the background that are just like really, the game is very unsettling. From the way the animatronics look, like if you go to a Chuck E. Cheese that still has their old animatronics, like you get that same feeling.
Yep, they did it right.
Except it's dark at night here. You're stuck in one room, and the best part about it is like when you're playing a game like Resident Evil, the first one, you have all these unnatural or stiff or like weird camera angles that you can't move. And then in this game, that's all it is.
Yeah, it's
so when you're looking at the animatronics in their supply closet or whatever, you're right up there with them, and even though you know they're there and that you're technically safe as long as you can see them, it's still creepy and unsettling to be right there in front of them.
Yeah, like every once in a while, Freddy's face is just all up in the camera.
He's just staring right at it.
Completely blacked out, and his eyes, his beady little friggin' eyes, just glowing, and you can't see anything that's going on in the background of that camera. You're a fly on the wall. He's not going to attack you, but you don't want that face on the monitor for any frames longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, Scott really knows how to manipulate and to make player feel something, because, I mean, it's worse when you can see it. I mean, hear it and you can't see it, because there's even the kitchen where you can hear Chica like stumbling around there, clattering around, and that camera is completely broken. You can't see anything, but you can hear it. And
yeah. I hated having to worry.
Adds to the tension.
I hate how much you have to worry about Chica versus how many times Chica actually attacks.
Yeah.
I think in our playthrough last night,
like maybe once.
Yeah, Chica, we only fell to once. But it sucks because you hear those pots clattering and crap, and like, oh, okay, let's go check. Yeah. And
then Foxy being like the most active looking one. Where at first Foxy isn't visible at all. They do mention like the more you look around on the cameras, it just makes Foxy angrier because he or she does not like being watched.
Yeah.
And that actually shows, because the more you're watching, like it just progressively comes out of her stage or his stage. And then you see...
Yeah, we were getting conflicting genders on Foxy.
I think Foxy's female. So okay. I'm going to refer to her as such. And if I'm wrong, then,
Sue.
We'll edit it in post. And then she starts running down the hallway. And then you're like scrambling to push the button. And if we didn't close the door beforehand, then like we're pretty much screwed. Yeah.
Foxy's got you.
Oh man, everything about that game is just done so well. And especially when you're looking down the hallway outside of the room you're in, and you can see the silhouette, like just at the end of the hallway, like there's Bonnie.
Yeah. The one thing that still just absolutely eludes me, and I think everybody, is why does a place need a security guard? Yeah. When the animatronics that you're guarding tear you to bits if you don't look like an animatronic or a child.
Yeah, we were joking around that like a burglar would break in for some reason and then immediately die.
Yeah, like it's like, cool, all right, I got all the money in the safe. Let me just oh no, now I'm part of... Now I am
whether
one of
or
them.
not I wanted to be, I'm now part of the show. Oh man, it was a very good game, especially for its time, like when it came out 3 years ago.
Yeah, so long ago. I mean, considering it's such a weird time in gaming. Really, absolute small budget indies can beat the crap out of AAAs with no problem. And it's because they're putting actual thought and love and care into the game. Activision, EA, every friggin' AAA developer.
All right. Yeah, like Scott, like we mentioned a few weeks ago that Scott had canceled Sister Location 2 or FNAF 6, I think it was. And I absolutely support that, because I feel like if he did it just because he felt like he needed to, eventually we would be talking about Scott on that list of people that just pump out games without care, But this is very much like a game that he cared about, and it shows. Like everything about it, like just the way it looks, the sound design.
The sounds scare you. The visuals scare you.
Everything.
The timing of the way things happen.
The main menu
scares you. When we had the volume at default, it felt like it was excessively loud, and so like when it starts up with that, it was startling, literally.
It's a great game, and if you haven't played it by now, like you really should get on it. Just
give it a try at the very least.
I recommend you do it at night just to really get into the whole spirit of it, basically. It's a great game. I recommend, buy it.
We're probably going to end up talking about it a little bit too much, maybe, considering we want to try and go through the franchise.
Series.
But yeah.
People, yeah.
But on to Splatoon 2 is the other big game that came out. Well, came out recently. It didn't come out the same time as FNAF.
That's for sure.
But yeah, Splatoon
2.0.
But yeah, 2, yeah.
It feels like an update to the first one.
It does. It very much does. It doesn't feel like a whole new game.
It feels like Splatoon Deluxe.
It's it's something beyond a port, but it's a lot less than a sequel.
Yeah.
It may have a whole new, single player mode, but even the first single player mode was kind of, just supplementary.
It was nice. It's just, okay, immediately when you start the game, it's like the Zapfish is missing, and without too many spoilers, that's all you really need to know. That's basically the story from the first game.
That is the same thing that happened in the first
there's a little extra wrinkle in there, but yeah, I don't know how much it's going to change the story. Anyway. So the story is pretty much the same. The premise is very similar. I think they added another ranked mode, the zone control one. So that's a lot of fun. It's still enjoyable. The weapons, they've changed them a little bit, and apparently we have not seen all the weapon types that they're going to add to the game.
Okay.
So that's good.
That's kind of cool.
And they even brought back some of the older maps, which I have no problem with. I really like some of them.
I want to see every map.
Yeah.
I know that game can handle everything that the last game had. I better see every map in there just for variety.
The paint looks great.
Yeah.
It's all like slimy and slippery, and it looks
I didn't know you could make what essentially look like, wetter Play-Doh look look better. And somehow it looks like better, wetter Play-Doh.
It looks really good. Even the kids, like Splatoon 1 looked great. Comparing it to now, Splatoon looks hot garbage.
The general slime effect on everything. The sheen that everything's got.
Yeah. But the weapons are great. The new Splat dualies are little two dual wielding pistols. Think of Tracer from Overwatch.
Yeah.
Because you even have a little roll that lets you move in any direction.
Kind of like your blink, but not instant.
Yeah. It's great. You're not invincible during it, though, so if you don't roll into a roller, or you'll die.
It does give you a damage boost afterwards, because after you roll, both crosshairs are concentrated on the same target as opposed to split up.
Oh, nice.
So it focuses them, and it gives that damage bonus.
They've also changed some of the weapon types a little bit, like the sniper rifle one, the charger.
Yeah, you can carry the charge now as opposed to having to sit in place and then let it go. You get, I don't know how long it was because I never got to try it myself, but you have enough time to basically reposition real quick, find another area to snipe from, and then let the shot go real quick.
The example they showed off was somebody under a ledge, charge it, jump on the ledge, fire, and then go back down to hide.
Nice.
And what else? They're adding it looks like a shotgun with an umbrella. You can use it as a shield.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and it'll fall apart if you're blocking too much. So you can't just spam it.
But yeah, it lets you get in close for a while at least to use the whatever it's gonna be.
The supers are great.
Freaking sweet.
Yeah, it is. They've added some supers and they've changed up some of them so they're not quite as overpowered. There's
some of the old ones are straight up gone. Like, I haven't seen the Kraken at all. I don't think that's coming back.
Which one's the Kraken?
Where you'd straight up turn into the giant squid.
Oh, that's
you can
right.
Just you could just attack by spinning. It was like a spin attack that you had.
That's okay. That wasn't...
That one was a weird thematically, because it's like, yeah, I get it that it's the squid thing, but everything else is doing a paint-related thing.
Yeah.
Why does he get to Hulk out?
Yeah, there was an ability that made you completely invulnerable, you and anybody who was around you on your team. They changed that to ink armor, so
yeah.
It's just a damage. It's a boost. It's not, you're not invincible though.
Yeah, you get like maybe 2 hits.
More, yeah.
I think I saw it where maybe like 3 hits I was able to take, but those were all body. Whereas like maybe 2 hits of the head, and the armor was gone right away.
Yeah, so it's enough to make a small difference. There is one called the baller, which you're basically in a hamster ball.
Yeah, and
it explodes when you get to a certain point.
I think, well, you'll explode at the end of a timer. Like from when it starts, you have so much time and it'll automatically start filling up with paint on the inside of your team. So you'll explode like a big old balloon with a blast radius.
Yeah.
You can also choose to do that earlier. So you can run, like, if you
Junkrat.
run into the enemy sooner. Basically, yeah, you're essentially Riptire with a slower timer at the end. You don't get to instantly blow up. You have a small like delay on that.
Yeah.
And then also though, the enemy can just shoot the hell out of the thing and then make the basically burst the bubble and end the effect. Which I learned the hard way, and that was upsetting and stupid, and I hate that.
All right, so you also get this little jetpack that
I don't want to talk about this game anymore.
Pushes you up into the air, and you basically shoot like grenade launcher.
Jetpacks go on.
Jetpack, you go in the air. You're hovering about maybe 10 feet in the air, and you have a grenade launcher that just blows up on impact whenever you're shooting at.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet outside of its rate of fire.
It makes you a big target.
Oh, it draws attention.
Although if you're floating above somebody, you'll kill them because your jetpack is just shooting paint onto the ground.
Right.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It's horrifying to think that that's supposed to be like flame then. Like the actual equivalent.
You're just melting them.
The analogous equivalent.
There's also an ability... what is it called? The one that shoots through walls?
I forget, but it's like just a screaming sound thingy.
It's like that sound blast from the first one, except now you can fire it in bursts or all at once.
Yeah, before it was called the Sonic Whale, and you'd throw it down, and it had 2 big old like radar dish things, and you'd throw it down and it can get through anything. Like it would just blast through it was Hanzo's, what's it called? Dragons. And yeah, you could do that by planting it just down wherever. Now you charge it up, like it's got this high pressure thing of CO2 on your back, and it's like it's like ready to explode. So you got so much time to go ahead and sit in place, charge it up, and fire off a round. But then you can move from there and fire off another round and fire off another round. It's got a certain amount of time as opposed to ammo, I think.
Yeah, and then the other one I wanted to talk about was Splashdown.
Yeah, Splashdown is pretty sweet.
Basically, you just do like a superhero punch into the floor, and the area around you is covered in your team's paint.
It's pretty sweet because you jump up real quick, which is enough to like, if an enemy is shooting at your body or face, you jump up and you're going to avoid all that because you're over it. If they don't expect it, they are not going to have a whole lot of time to adjust their aim or get out of the way. They have to do one or the other, and a lot of times when you get them off guard, they're going to do neither.
Yeah.
But the thing that sucks is that if they're prepared for it or, they're just on it, you are kind of vulnerable for maybe a second or two. When you jump up to do it, you hover for like a little bit. You ease into the sky. It's not a real quick thing. So if they know what's going to happen next, they will just look up and take you out like Farrah style.
Yeah. And then the last one I think is the Tenta missile.
Oh, I'm sorry, but one more thing. If you do get anybody caught in that is splatted, like they're dead.
Yeah.
They don't survive that.
And the last one I was going to talk about is Tenta missile, which gives you like this giant, like 8 missile rocket launcher. You can aim across the map.
Yeah.
And then however many people you lock onto, you launch off like 4 rockets for each person.
Yeah, it's 4 per squid that you lock onto.
So these are some pretty big changes to the supers, and I feel like they really help. I don't think that they're unfair. You do get a pretty good warning when they're going to come after you, for the most part. Like, whenever somebody's about to splash down, if I'm using the dualies, I can roll out of it.
Anytime that anybody's got their thing charged up,
you can see their eyes glowing.
Because their eyes... Well, no. Their hair is on fire.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
The eyes glow when they have armor on.
Oh,
and it's kind of sucks because it's a tell too. If they're going around on the floor, their eyes glow there too, even when they're standing still. I noticed that.
Crazy.
And it's like, this is not 100%. I guess maybe they only want you using this as a team and if you're all together up ahead in front. I guess they don't want you just using it whenever just for like bonus armor, which kind of sucks because that's one of the like first powers that you get, and I feel like that's a little bit too much strategy for anybody.
Random people to be working together to use effectively. The music is still pretty like great.
Oh man, I feel people are either very yes or very no on the music in this game. I am like very much for it. I love every track on this thing. I love every track on the first one. This weird new genre of like squid pop rock punk.
It's really cool.
Freaking love it. It's like J-pop, J-punk, but also it's just in their squid language.
They're not saying real words.
I hope I didn't come off as right. That was just supposed to be complete random ass squid shit.
That's octopus.
Oh God.
Species.
I'm sorry, Octarians.
It's okay. I'm sure they don't mind. Which is weird because Marina speaks with Pearl, and it seems like there's no language barriers there. Anyway, the music's great. The whole game basically just has its own aesthetic, and it was unapologetically like, this is me. Deal with it.
Yeah, it doesn't venture into any other genres at all, does it? It's always this same kind of like fuzzy. Well,
when you go into the stores, it's like
yeah. But in the action, you're always listening to these same types of tracks, and that's kind of I didn't think about it like that. This is me, mom. Deal with it.
Well, less that, more like there's nothing.
This isn't just. This is
completely different from like Mario and Zelda, where like Mario is more like, have fun time in the countryside, jumping on blocks and stuff, and Zelda is more like orchestral and very like grand with swinging gestures, And this is like you're like rocking out to the music as you're painting everything up. Even the style, like you have the cool shoes, the hats, the sneakers. I think some people have sandals or beanies,
flip-flops,
fisherman's hats.
Yeah.
There was a really cool jacket that I wanted to get that was like a leather jacket.
And then sometimes they're like the helmets, ninja helmets.
Yeah.
You can wear
or
so
like
much
Iron Man type,
different
like,
gear.
Yeah. And that is a big deal in the game. Like they even say stay fresh. Like you have, that's part of your status is how cool you are.
Yeah.
And
hey, I never thought about it like that. Is that like they're really trying to push that like stay fresh, go get new items and stuff. Stay fresh.
And then if you're going into the shops before level like 4 or so, they say like you are way too like
you are way unfresh.
You're uncool. Go be cooler before we can sell stuff to you, and then you can be even cooler. And it's cool because the best gear has most slots and is like the most stylish stuff. Like I have these really nice shoes that are like wingtips and they look smoky and like you would see a businessman wearing them or something. Or like in a lounge room basically.
Right.
And it very much is like the cooler you look, the better you are. And the game has a lot of fun with that, both in the sound and the appearance of the characters. Even Callie and Mari, who are no longer like wearing the little idol outfits. I think Callie was wearing or Mari, I'm sorry, I forget which one, was wearing a kimono.
Yeah, she is.
Very different. Which, I mean, that speaks to the character and what she's been through. I'm not done with the story yet, but, she's lost her friend, basically.
Right.
So, I mean, they do a really good job of just showing you all this stuff, just in everything about the character and how they are. Although I think she even says that she's not a huge fan of Pearl and Marina. She's like, our
does she?
Stay fresh was a better catchphrase or something. Like, she said, don't get cooked, stay off the hook.
I like them both.
I like Pearl.
I like them both. I'm from Marina, right?
I don't know. Are you the octopus girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm all about Marina. She's cool.
I like Pearl. Apparently, she's a genius. And the only one who will work with her is Marina, I think.
Okay.
And I think they said that because they'll introduce the stages every hour or two. Like, these are the new stages. One of them was the art school.
Yeah.
And Pearl says, like, didn't we perform here once? And he's like, yeah, but you started a riot, a mosh pit, and you broke a bunch of their sculptures. So Pearl's the crazy little one, but she's cool. I like her. Most people seem to like Marina, which I even mentioned a few times. I think that's going to skew the Splatfests, like, entirely.
Right.
I think Marina's going to win most of them, which I would love it if they're like, just pick one and we'll tell you whose side you were on afterwards.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, it should be. They shouldn't be on there. It should be an up and down decision, not a left and right one. Well, and then on top of that, you don't know which one it is.
Because I mean, to be fair though, I did pick Cake just because Pearl had picked it. So
Oh my god.
Ice cream is better.
Yeah.
It won.
So then why didn't you pick ice cream?
Because I knew everyone was going to be picking Marina. You
sellout.
Yeah, you know what?
I went with ice cream because I like ice cream.
I stuck to my morals.
No, you didn't.
That's my moral.
You went completely against your morals.
I was the underdog here. That was my moral. Anyway, sorry. The game is great.
I don't...
Hold on. So how do you feel about the fact that it is largely a update to Splatoon 1?
Ice cream is better.
There's ice cream cake. Boom. Salmon Run. Have you tried that yet? I have not.
Go ahead.
It is horde mode. Yeah, I tried it around. It's not nearly as long as you might expect. This isn't like just keep going until everyone dies.
Are these the different enemies from the single player?
I don't believe so.
When you say horde mode,
they are basically, you go to collect salmon eggs, then they're very valuable to Grizzco, which is basically a grizzly company. I guess he wants salmon eggs for some reason.
Oh, Grizzco.
It's a bear with a fish in his mouth as a statue, and it's talking to you. It's only available certain times of the day.
Okay.
Which I think we mentioned, I've talked about it before. It's to avoid, I think, splitting the fan base between ranked, multiplayer, league, and this. Which is fine, I mean... But the thing is, like I said, it's not like play until you all die. It's 3 rounds.
Uh-huh.
It's very much in the tradition of Splatoon where it's like, these are bite-sized action, every match is 3 minutes. Enjoy it, jump back in or don't,
Okay.
You're not spending like 20 minutes in single game.
Yeah, you're not investing. There's not a huge time investment.
Exactly. If you lose in Salmon Run, just jump right back in. That didn't take you more than 5 minutes most.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of fun. Working together with 3 other people in a way that isn't like just kill the other team. This is something completely new. And it's cool to see these bosses and you have to work together to take them out because they have unique mechanics. Nothing too crazy, but like there's one that sits on a tower and snipes at you. You have to knock every pot underneath him down so he's on your level and then you can spot him.
Ah, okay.
It's a lot of fun. It does very much feel like just Splatoon 1, but more.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because I know you've been...
I mean, this is upsetting. I called it from the get-go. This is just going to be a re-releasing machine also. And that's really upsetting that, at the very least, that these prices aren't being dropped, that they're being released at the same... I don't know, man. But, whatever. The game is still, itself, from what I played, is... I mean, I like the first one, and because this one remains mostly unchanged outside of...
weapons, supers.
Like, the game's rules and mechanics haven't changed much, though some of those things have been updated in some ways. But they all just feel like they could have been a bunch of different little batch updates. Like, we're playing the game that one would have ended up being patch after patch, and then we'd get whatever the big change was to get Splatoon 2. Like, this doesn't feel like... This feels like Splatoon 1.99.
Okay, and do you think it was worth the $60 though, or?
I mean, I didn't think Mario Kart was worth $60.
Well, that's I think easier to say. Like, this is largely the same game. We added 2 items in the battle maps, and that's about it.
I don't see the difference with Mario Kart. It was all
that's
already
what I'm saying. I'm saying that is mostly. That's easier to say. This didn't deserve a $60 price tag. For me.
Okay.
With Splatoon, I feel like there is the argument that they did add some stuff. They changed some things.
I still don't feel enough.
You don't think they've changed or added enough?
Yeah. I don't think they've changed enough to there's still all the problems and new issues for the online stuff. The whole communication thing with the...
Yeah, that is very... Okay, so the app. Let's talk about the app for a second.
That's okay, go ahead.
So they have an app that is the Nintendo Switch app.
That shouldn't exist at all.
You said go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And then you interrupted me immediately. They have a Nintendo Switch app.
Shouldn't exist at all.
And they have specific parts of it for each game that they're going to release. So far, it's just Splatoon, too. So if you go into the app, there is a special online store that you can order stuff from. And then you go in-game and get it and pick it up. Which, like I said, there was a leather jacket there that I didn't get to in time. Very sad about that. And then it keeps track of your stats, like how you've been doing, winning or losing the last few games, what you were using. And and then how many points you've earned over your lifetime, basically career stats. But then there's also the ability to create a lounge and play with your friends in a private match. I wanted to play with H8Bit here, but not in a private match. I wanted to go out into the quick battles and play with him. But unfortunately, Nintendo did not let us do that.
They thought it wiser
to force us to play private matches, maybe.
Private matches against each other, not with each other in the same... I want to play with my goddamn friends. I didn't mind so much playing
against him, since I beat him a few times. And then sometimes you guys just completely destroyed my team.
Yep.
Sometimes. I think it was more the other way around. Yeah. But there's also the voice communication problem where they have a voice chat component on the app, but you have to be on the app the whole time, or you get dropped from the call, if you want to call it that. Or if you lock your phone, it drops you, which is like just incredibly like...
If you lock it, if you back out of the app, if you do anything else that isn't putting this app at the forefront of your attention on your phone, then you will be disconnected until the next match. And that's just...
No, I think that's just a voice chat.
Voice chat, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You get disconnected from voice chat until the next match?
Yeah.
I was not aware of that.
What did you think I meant?
From the actual match.
No. From voice chat, you will be disconnected.
That's horrible.
Until the next match. So you're still in the match, but you don't get to communicate with anybody. Dumb. Why they think any of this is a good idea when Discord is out?
Yeah, we were using Discord to play.
Yeah, and it was way smoother. Every time we started a match, we did absolutely nothing because you don't need to, because it's Discord and it's operated by, logic. And I don't understand what Nintendo is trying to do. It feels almost like they're intentionally trying to make something that's overtly complex. So that then when parents say, hey, why is my kid talking to some foul-mouthed, 30, 35-year-old over this game?
Well, he jumped through some hoops to get there, let me tell you, lady.
Either it seems it's more like just a liability issue. It's like, okay, we've provided you guys an official avenue through which Nintendo can take blame if something bad happens to you. However, we're also going to make it hard as hell and just hope that you're going to use something else instead anyway.
So that we can't... You're not going to blame us.
I feel like at this point, it's like if anybody in that damn building has any smarts about something that isn't a video game, it has to be intentionally this weird reverse psychology thing going on. Because at this point, even most middle schoolers here in America with the worst education can come up with way better ideas for voice chat for your game on napkins than you guys actually did come out with. And that's horrible.
Hate's getting a little upset, understandably. I was using Discord with him.
You guys are adults.
Yeah, act like it. We were using Discord and I discovered this really cool feature where I locked my phone and we were still able to talk to each other. So Nintendo, you know what to do. Maybe you don't actually. So I'm telling you, please let us use your app like normal people. Even phone calls have this feature where if you lock the phone, you're still in the phone call.
You know what would be even better is if
Nintendo Discord.
No. Why the hell are they even... Why do you even have to get out of the system, the console? Why the hell can't you Bluetooth onto this damn thing? Why isn't there a port for the mic if they're gonna want you to voice chat at all? Why? Even the DS had that little extra port for voice chat.
And the Wii U had a built-in microphone.
What the hell is, like...
Yeah. This game is largely...
Voice chat has been around literally since the 90s in games. Why the hell are you guys still having problems with it?
Yeah.
And then Bluetooth has been around since I don't know when. Freaking PlayStation, of course, you can connect anything to that. Bluetooth is... Actually, it's not a Sony proprietary thing, I forgot. Which gives them even less excuse.
Yeah. Alright, so I think that's going to wrap it up for that review. Yeah.
Splatoon 2 is a great game. If you liked Splatoon 1, people aren't going to be playing that game anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't know when they're going to drop support for it, but you're going to have to, if you want to keep enjoying Splatoon, you're going to have to rebuy it basically on Switch.
The most positive thing I can say about it, if you're going to compare it to Call of Duty, is at least it wasn't a year ago that Splatoon 1 came out. This was a handful of years. And it's good to see the renewed interest because I'm hoping they're going to innovate with this stuff, and probably I would love to see in 10 years, by the time Splatoon 4 comes out, they're doing what Breath of the Wild did for Zelda and somehow reinventing the game and going all out with it. That's probably a bit much to ask, but you know.
I don't know why you're thinking that this is going to be the game they have right now as is just needs to stop acting like it's their first project. And then it took all the amateur bullshit that they're pulling off in this game. If they stop that, then they come out with a damn good game and they don't need to change it, just update it. It can be their Overwatch. They won't need to come out with Overwatch 2. Just keep updating this one. But
to be fair, Overwatch has a loot crate system that helps them earn money while they're... If something in Splatoon was able to like give us more money and we can keep on releasing big chunks of content, that's why there's no Overwatch 2, because they're getting that revenue.
Right.
Yeah. And I'm happy that Splatoon doesn't. Anyway,
come up with some system for it. Do a loot crate system.
I would hate that. You go to the store and buy what you want. Like, what would you buy with the loot crate? You know what would be nice? To have something besides booyah or over here to say. Or what do they say if you get splatted? You're the one of your...
Ouch.
Ouch, yeah. That would be nice. Or different spawn-in, like, animations or something from the beginning of the match.
Vanity stuff.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I'm saying.
The vanity stuff.
What vanity, though? Because most of it's clothes and that's your style. You want to do, like, transmog?
What's it called? Animation, like you're saying.
Okay, yeah. Well, I thought you meant, like, specifically clothes. All right, well, we want Splatoon and Overwatch to have a baby. Basically, it's what we're saying here. I'm enjoying the game pretty thoroughly. Although there are some issues with like the online stuff. You can't even play ranked together. You have to wait until you get into league battles.
That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. There's absolutely no excuse I don't see for party up like you could back in, I don't know, Halo 2. And then get into a game together. That's exactly how it happened in, again, Halo 2, and that was 2001, 2?
Alright, so I'm just going to give this game like 75 out of 100 splats. Whatever that means.
It's just...
The game is good, it just has some inconsistency issues, and like, just...
I think in the end, the game itself is worth playing.
But Nintendo...
Despite the fact that it's got... Like all these, the core game is fun enough.
Yeah.
But it's just, it'd be nice if it wasn't wrapped up in this weird, janky box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would recommend buying it, but again, there are some issues with it, so I don't know if maybe you want to hold off on that. And the most recent game that we played, Behold the Kickmen.
Yeah, Behold the Kickmen was
also fun but frustrating. Although to be fair, we were playing with the keyboard, and they do stress that a gamepad is the preferable way to play.
Yeah, I was getting I'm not going to say that quite upset. All the issues.
Yeah,
I don't know. There's still something to be said about the mouse controls on that thing. But anyway, the game tutorial was a bit trying.
Much, yeah.
Yeah, they can shorten that tutorial, but damn,
there were some funny little things about it.
I love the commentary that the guy's got going on through it. This guy obviously has some very strong feelings about sports. I don't think just football.
Yeah.
I think like, and I felt like they reflected a lot on the stuff I feel. Like you're going through the game and at first it's just teaching you basic maneuvers, right? Up, down, left, right. WASD moves you around. Then it tells you how to sprint, so throw shift in there. Then, obviously, one of the most important things is a ball. You have a bunch of people in an arena running around, and that's just silly. But throw a ball in there, they become gods. And, I've just busted up laughing because it's like, yes, that's exact. Like, these men work out. They go out, hurt each other, hurt themselves, and they're going out chasing a bouncing ball that is oblong. Like, that's what they do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wish the tutorial was a little bit shorter. You can't say that it wasn't thorough, at the very least.
It's definitely important because there are some things that, like, you need to...
This game has a very good set of rules in play. There's a lot of potential here. It reminded me of Windjammers, like an arcade version of Frisbee volleyball is what that game was.
Yeah.
And yeah, this game, like like he says from the beginning, from the get-go, there's literally the disclaimer for this game at the beginning is the guy knows nothing and has no interest in actual soccer / European football. So, yeah, he made the game based off his complete ignorance of the sport.
And it's awesome.
It is, what he came out with is freaking amazing. It works great as an arcade video game thing. Like,
yeah,
I would love to play this with 2-player, you know? It's pretty amazing.
The pitch for one is round. It's a big circle instead of...
Yeah.
And it's got like the 50-yard line and the 22.5-yard line. It's fun.
Yeah. They're marked. They have actual numbers on the edges like a football field.
Yeah.
Like an American football field.
And the music.
The music gets 10 out of 10 from me.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is that it's just constant, going 100% through the whole thing. I kind of feel like this game is good enough that they could have given it a little bit of cinematic flair by maybe doing fade outs when those little like cutscenes.
I would love it if when you're tackling or when the time slows down, if
the music would get affected by it,
slowed down also, or if when you make a goal it like changes into something way more like dramatic and
fanfare-ish. Yeah, that'd be nice. But
no, it's freaking great.
You know, like, for being just, you know, an automatic playlist that is just playing, the tracks that were selected are freaking amazing. These are really cool tracks that really get you into the mood, like to just, okay, I gotta score some points.
Kickball.
There are some moments where your guys move awkwardly slow sometimes, especially at first. Yeah. And it's still like, it ends up, I guess maybe the music and the whole just combination of stimuli that's going on, you still feel anxious and like, oh my God, come on, get going, get to the goal, get to the goal.
It was great. We were playing with a keyboard and mouse, so I mean, I'm going to excuse that for some of it. Although you do, if you're defending, you're trying to get the ball, you will be switching between your automated characters pretty often, and it can get disorienting. That's a little
sometimes the auto switch was a little finicky. It was working fine for the most part, but it seems like the aim is every couple of seconds check that the player is actually the person closest to the ball.
Yeah.
And then it automatically switches. Every once in a while, when it would perform that check, it would switch me to somebody who seemed like he was halfway across the screen when, like, you know, 3 or 4 guys were crowded around the guy who actually had the ball.
Yeah.
So that was kind of weird. Passing got a little bit finicky. Yeah, according to the instructions, as long as you see some little line which is connecting your player and the person who's potentially you're going to pass to, a quick click is supposed to get it over there to him. What kept happening to me is like it felt like he kept going to do a goal. Yeah, as it's said in this game.
do a big kick.
Yeah, I kept setting up for a big kick with a lot of welly behind it. But yeah, because to perform just a regular kick, you hold down the mouse, and the longer you hold it down, the stronger it is, but the less accuracy you get to it. I don't know what the hell the problem was. I don't know if it just couldn't detect between a quick click and how long I would, like, what it would interpret as holding it. Yeah. Because that's what would end up happening a lot of times, is I meant to pass, and instead I would shoot in some weird direction just randomly.
You have to be running at the person you're going to pass it to, like in their general direction. I feel like what happened, it was at like the very last moment, that line disappeared as you're clicking, and it just doesn't give you time to react.
Well, then the other thing is, though, because I know at first I was getting frustrated because I would click expecting to just start up the goal
cone
thing.
Yeah.
And then that wouldn't happen. So later when I figured out, oh, okay, because that's the time for passing, that didn't work out.
Yeah. So the game does have some frustrating issues, those being the chief ones. The story mode's pretty fun and amusing, though.
The story can get a little bit, like,
obtuse.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to
overbearing,
be funny and weird.
Well, there's like the thing about the guy who's like, I'm going to be thinking about you when I kiss all these beautiful women, and I know you're going to be crying about it.
Yeah.
It's like, what? He's supposed to be bullying you.
But then also, I like that the coach, everything that he's saying about, like, he's just talking about basically the underbelly of, like, organized soccer and how much, like, stuff goes on there. Because at first he's talking to you about how, like, important it is to do well in the game,
to show off,
oh yeah, no, at first it's straight up, it sounds like legit, and then it's slowly like, I want you to do well because it makes more money,
and you have to be fancy and fresh with your moves, because then that'll get the fans really like paying for all the jerseys and stuff. Which, if you think about it, you know, people like very, very popular players like Chicharito or something.
Yeah, no, it's not even if you think about it. It's if you look for 2 seconds at it, that's definitely the analogous that they're drawing.
Yeah, people buy these jerseys from these players because they're so good with the ball, and they'll dance around their opponents, and basically they'll go for it and fake them out, and it's amusing to watch, and so people are buying these jerseys, giving their money to the teams, and this is exactly what the coach is talking about.
Yeah,
and the guy's like, well, I mean,
great.
It's for soccer at least, right?
Yeah. Like the whole time, almost it feels like they've done it tons of times before in other games where it's like, oh, this is for patriotism, right, or whatever, where you're just unquestionably doing stuff, quote unquote, in the name of patriotism or something.
Yeah.
It's like they're taking the same idea here, and instead it's for soccer, where soccer is the almighty, like, can't do no wrong thing, where it's okay when, like, no matter what you do, it's okay if it's for soccer, you know? And it's funny because he's not too far from the truth. There are some people who like will excuse the worst things ever if it gets, you know, their soccer team up in.
Yeah, not just that though, but if you think about, like, in football, you have, and more. I think it's becoming more and more in the public eye, where it's like a football player will do something terrible, and people will excuse it because he's talented. And it starts in like early, because I know in high school you have the whole boys will be boys BS, where like they'll look the other way
for horrible, atrocious things. It's like, oh no, but you know, he's gonna take our whole team to, you know, varsity, to state, to whatever, and
or if they don't do well in school, it's like, well, he didn't do his essay, but like, just give him an A. Like, we need him to play.
Yeah. Whereas this other guy who, he can't fucking grab a ball and throw it in a fucking hoop, but he's getting straight A's in every class. But if he messes up in any other way, no, he's straight, like, he, because of his grades, is now a detriment, and he's a psychopath.
So I think this is a pretty, I mean, maybe the creator wasn't trying to get that into it, but yeah, he's pointing out some flaws, which is funny considering he's not a huge soccer fan, I guess.
Yeah, like he said, he has no interest in it.
Like,
but then again, I mean, stuff like that, when I hear about it, is exactly why I don't get into stuff, which is, you know, could be like that.
Oh, the seriousness aside, though, the game is pretty funny. It's entertaining. There are some frustrating moments, but the music, like, and when you score a goal, the ball basically explodes, and then the characters just start like dancing around back and forth.
Big old celebration.
It's pretty fun.
The game is like, the mechanics are all really awesome. The way they work out is just, this can make for an amazing game if you showed this to anybody else for maybe 2-3 minutes. This is the kind of game that it kind of feels hard to just get somebody to actually see it.
Yeah.
But I feel if you give them like maybe 2-3 minutes with it, then they might, you know, have a damn good time with it. I don't know where I wanted to go with that, but it's just, it feels, this game has a lot of potential. I feel like it could be slightly competitive. I don't know. I didn't see if there was an online mode in it.
I don't think so.
But that, I think I could do well with one.
Yeah, and even if you don't like soccer, I mean, honestly, I think that's more the reason to play this game. It just pokes fun at these things that people take so seriously, and it pokes fun at it, and in addition, it is also very fun.
Yeah, if you are a gamer, this is definitely a sports game tailored for that. Like, these guys have kind of like abilities and funny little powers. Like I mean, there's a tackling, like the way they tackle, they have this charge up thing that they do. The way they kick, even, you've got this cone of vision that goes, not cone of vision, but cone of accuracy?
Aiming? Yeah, kind of.
That goes up. It's everything that you do in it is kind of a mini game. Like, just progressing from goal to goal and making sure that the ball is where it needs to be. Everything for a game that is being a parody of a real sport. It is taking itself seriously enough that it is
fun.
It is fun in its own right. It's got its own set of rules and works mechanically well.
Yeah.
That being said, every once in a while it does bug out. There were the 2 or 3 occasions where the characters on the opposing, all of the characters,
them, except for you,
just decided they weren't gonna move for maybe 2 or 3 goals, and
until the end of the game, even.
there were a couple of points where you're just running along and nothing's in contact with you, but you keep getting hit. Like
you tackle.
Like it looks like the red mark, as though you were getting tackled, keeps hitting not only you, but other characters.
I saw that too.
And they're just, you aren't, maybe some of them are, maybe some of them you can excuse, but like, it's like, I just saw 5 of those tackle marks. That definitely didn't just happen.
Another thing too is when I started playing on the stream, you can check it out. I ran up with the ball, it got away from me, and I tried to kick it to somebody. Ended up flying straight into my goal from like across the field.
What was that, 3 points?
For 3 points. By the way, yeah, this is like basketball rules. The further you are from the goal, the more points they're worth.
It's worth.
Which is amusing. But that was frustrating. I ended up winning though, just because I'm good enough, I guess. But yeah, like I said, there are some weird bugs with it. It is new though, and the creator, Dan Marshall, he very much seems eager to fix anything that's wrong with it. This really does seem like a labor of love. And it's only $4. I need to mention that.
Yeah.
So this is definitely like worth dropping $4 on this game. It's amusing and it's funny.
I've seen way worse charge way more.
Yeah.
And this is definitely a game that could honestly ask more of you, and is being very modest at $5, $4 at $4. $3.99, $4. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we played 3 games. All of them, I think, have some issues, but they're all very much worth playing. Splatoon, it's the one I maybe would hold off on just because it's $60, and that's not.
Well, I mean, the problem there is that if you hold off on it, you're also holding off basically on actually playing the game. You're gonna get some people later, but you're not gonna get the community that's there now. You know.
Maybe wait till somebody trades it in.
Maybe.
I don't know how late that would be. But yeah. I would recommend buying any of these 3 games. Splatoon and I'm sorry, Behold the Kickmen and FNAF are very affordable, even on a modest budget. All right, on the horizon, we got a few games coming out. On Friday, July 28th, we have Hey Pikmin and Miitopia. Both of those I tried at the Nintendo Summer of Play event. Miitopia seemed very, very, very lackluster. Mostly waiting and holding the R button to fast forward through the scenes. Hey Pikmin, it had the charm of a Pikmin game, but the gameplay was very different.
You tried it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I talked about it on the podcast.
Oh yeah, you did. I'm sorry.
If there is a demo or if you can see gameplay of it, try it out.
There is one. One came out maybe last week or 2 weeks ago onto the 3DS. I did not try it because I was honestly I probably should have, just to talk about
try
it.
Try it. Yeah, no, I mean, definitely worth trying, especially for free on a demo. And it's a different kind of fun. I mean, not what you're expecting from Pikmin, but it's still enjoyable, I think. And those will be on Friday. On July 29th, on Saturday, Dragon Quest XI is coming to the PS4. Those games are huge in Japan.
Yeah.
I did not realize how, we had Final Fantasy here, and they have Dragon Quest.
Well, they get both over there.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as far as popularity, Dragon Quest is,
yeah. Big. I dare say exceeds.
I think so. I mean, I think
Final Fantasy.
There were rumors that people, they started releasing these on Saturday because people were just leaving work and school to go buy these games on the day of.
I forgot what book I read it in, but Dragon Quest, who makes it?
Isn't it Square? No.
Whoever had it before, though. Enix?
I think so.
Enix was not allowed to release, I think to this day is not allowed to release in Japan Dragon Quest games if it's not a weekend or a national holiday.
Okay, so that's true.
Because of the amount of people who dropped out or who would leave work and school to go and form lines to get the game. Yeah. I'm not 100% that it's still true, but I've read, this was a thing at least, if not still.
All right. Yeah. So check that out. It looks great though. I saw some of the trailers for it. Still Akira Toriyama's trademark style, the guy that did Dragon Ball Z. So take a look at that if you're into
that guy
JRPGs.
Sells stuff. That guy's drawings sell things.
Yeah. And then August 1st, that'll be next Tuesday, we have Patapon Remastered. That is a remaster of the PS Vita game, right?
Yeah, I'm excited to play that. I only got to play Patapon for maybe 30 minutes in my life, and that was 30 minutes too little. That game, pretty fun.
I don't know if that was the right phrase for it, but yes, definitely was.
30 minutes too little of time. I wanted more.
That means you only wanted to play an hour? Anyway,
you're right. You're right.
All right. So it was just not enough time. Check it out. I'm sure it won't be the full 60. PS4 seems, I mean, as far as like a PS Vita remaster, it'll probably be 40.
That's going to be cool that, because it still has tilt control. You can still do that.
Oh, yeah. And then The Long Dark and Dino Frontier are also coming to PS4. I believe these are both survival games, like in the vein of Ark or Minecraft. And Dino Frontier has dinosaurs in it.
Dinosaurs.
Dino DNA. And then Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun is coming to the PS4, PC, and Xbox One in no particular order. Yeah, that's not a bad week. They're starting to pick up again after E3 and the summer drought.
Yeah, this is a little slow. I think there's going to be a much better stuff next week.
Yeah.
Okay, so our topic of the week has been something I was already harping on in episodes in the past, and then also something that we were already nitpicking a little bit, talking about Splatoon here.
That's not a nitpick. That is a very well-reasoned grievance.
They are. There was an article that came out recently, somebody talking about it was an opinion piece saying maybe Nintendo needs to stop doing anything but making games. And that includes netcode. That includes their console making. That includes they need to, I'm kind of starting to jump on that bandwagon right there, or jump on that opinion, considering this Switch, the games that are coming out for it, how they basically already came out. I'm not looking forward to features outside of base games from Nintendo anymore. They seem so weird, antiquated, ass backwards sometimes. Yeah. Implementation just seems completely dated, or has some weird, really awkward new approach to it that, for reasons, apparently have never been approached in the same way that they're trying to do it.
Yeah.
Or like we already mentioned, the connection, the voice chat. Why the hell just isn't there Bluetooth on your damn system to natively be able to talk on your console over the internet? And why wouldn't you, if you're going to make an app, just copy paste Discord?
Yeah.
I don't literally mean that, but just make another Discord. It's weird. It's like you guys can only make original things, and if it's not a video game, it's not going to come out good. That's what it seems like now. You guys used to be good at making consoles, but now it seems like, that all of those consoles were designed by the same guy who got fired after the Virtual Boy just to get hit by a bus 2 weeks later. Yeah.
It was an accident?
It was a legitimate accident that had occurred to him, but it was kind of a awful coincidence that it occurred, I think, 2 weeks after he got demoted because of the sales of the Virtual Boy. He had designed every system beforehand, which is why they all had a nice uniform kind of look to them up until the Virtual Boy. That's when the 64 came in with its weird-ass penis control.
That was a Trident.
That was a very huge wang.
Three-pronged...
Huge wang, two legs on either side.
Yeah, I agree with you for the most part. I still think the console's fine. It's just what they're doing with it. Mm-hmm. And I understand the re-releases. The Wii U did not sell very well. People didn't know if it was a whole new thing or just an expansion to the Wii. And even depending on how long ago it released, I would argue that it's fine for the $60 price tag if they're adding stuff to it on top of that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know why online has to be such a difficult thing for them.
It's not just online, but go ahead.
But it's that whole thing where it's like, we've got the games down, and now it seems like we need to catch up everywhere else, and they're not doing that.
Right.
They're like, here's a macaroni drawing that I did while my older brother Leonardo da Vinci made the Mona Lisa. And
yeah.
Like, that's a real nice try, but that's not what we need from you at all.
And that analogy doesn't cover it all, because it's like, if I'm showing a macaroni picture, I'm never gonna be impressed. I'll feign it, but I'll never actually be impressed. These guys are I don't know, maybe it's macaroni, but it's made out of solid gold or diamonds or something. I don't know, because there is something amazing in that art. But yeah, it is packaged in a weird, janky mess. It's just, all the other, I know that if I buy a Nintendo product, I'm gonna get an excellent game. ARMS being in that ring, friggin' excellent, amazing. kind of weird when they did the global test splat that it wasn't just, sorry, not the test splat, the global test punch, that it wasn't just a freaking demo like anybody else would do a demo. Why was it limited? Why did it have those like weird times that those were the only times you were allowed to experience the game? This game, the Splatoon, the voice chat, we already talked about it, but like, what the hell is that? We can't get into ranked games together like you could in any other game. Or if you can, it explicitly tells you and has some other way to party up. At least this doesn't have any... Somebody has to... For you to party up in this game, somebody already has to be going into a game. And then the other people in your party have to hope that they get in there in time to find you in their UI, select you, and then there are spaces still left for them to come in on the connection. Now, at no point does it take a long time, but that is a lot more luck that is involved for something that should be, like I said earlier, Halo 2, party up, get in game, done. It was done. There aren't patents on that because a billion other games did the same thing. And even if there are patents, a billion other games got around it. I don't know what the hell the excuse for these guys who have been making games literally since before most of the people listening to this were born. Why?
A lot of what I've been hearing is that it's a lot of the traditionalists at Nintendo, the older folks that are like really sticking to their guns on these things. And I think the younger group that is growing up and is seeing these changes that need to be made, I think they're starting to get a voice within the company.
It's been showing slowly and steadily, but it's still like, okay,
and I think
so
it's
then...
still going to be a while before
they completely make this change. And I don't know, then they need to just fire whoever the hell these stubborn jackasses are. They need to leave or
get with the times,
be relinquished of the ability that you are, they're never gonna listen to this, but whoever those people are, you are crippling an otherwise almighty beautiful thing, know,
like you said, the guy that got demoted for the virtual boy. Is anyone gonna get demoted for this voice chat?
Who knows? Like they actually took action before. This guy might just he's still going to be working there and he's still going to have his job like nothing, nothing's going to come of the decision to have made this awful alternative to something that we already have a perfect solution for.
And then some people on Twitter were, specifically one person said gamers will just find anything to complain about. And it's like, this is not a small thing that people are like blowing out of proportion. This is, you are trying to set up communication between people on your team so you can communicate and play the game effectively. It's vital, and you guys are...
There's no... I can't say it enough because it's not a blaring enough fact, and I hate that nobody... I feel like this should be the only thing anybody in every comment should say. Like, these features have been around since the 90s. Like, I just want... Don't... F every other point that you have. These things have existed from the 90s. These are not innovative. These are not new things. This, like I said, like I said, Nintendo, it seems they can only do new things. And if it's not video game related, if it's not a video game, that new thing is going to come out to be crap. This video chat, this voice chat thing, like I said, they can only do new things. So they can't borrow Discord. They can't borrow Skype. They can't use anything else that actually exists for some reason.
I really would have preferred they just partnered up with another
with
developer.
any of them.
Like for their Nintendo mobile games, they have who was it, DNA? I think developing them.
Okay, I don't know.
Team up with somebody like you did for this. You know that mobile games aren't your strong suit, at least as far as phones. Like, you know that you guys don't have experience in there.
Or Niantic with Pokemon
exactly.
Go. Yeah.
Like, ask Discord, ask Skype, ask freaking Kick or something. Somebody who knows what they're doing to team up with you on this. Because this is evident that you guys,
don't know what you're doing.
I want to be the fly on the wall in the meeting where they're like, okay, so, should we be able to talk to people when your phone's locked? It's like, no, that's dumb. Why would you lock your phone while you're playing a game and not looking at the phone? That's like... I don't...
Yeah, who was thinking,
Reggie, was it you? Because
there's some meetings that you need to step out of, I think.
Or into, because I'm pretty sure this is all Nintendo Japan stuff.
Maybe. But, yeah, just,
Powerbomb them.
Reggie. Somebody thought it was... that this was okay, that it was a good idea to only have it there, only have it open there when you can only... If you deviate on your phone from anything else outside of this particular app, for whatever reason, that means you have to be removed from voice chat for the rest of that match just to be thrown back in with no problem later. Which to me means, I think, you can get thrown in right away, but they're opting not to for whatever reason. If you think someone's cheating, I don't get what you're trying to like stop or cut out. Like, because if they're cheating with that, that means that the guys cheating are also using whatever other voice chat or whatever. I don't understand what you guys are trying to prevent the circumvention of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Locking your phone is not going to, like, give me an advantage in any way.
It saves my battery and it lets me play the friggin' game longer.
You know what would be cool, which I know they wouldn't do, but if you had the app with the map on it and it acted as the second screen so you can just touch to jump to somebody.
That'd be kind of sweet if that was the second screen that they used to have on the, what's it called?
Yeah.
On the,
That would be great. But of course they won't do that because it's a good idea.
No, yeah.
I don't want to come off as complaining and all, but like, this is a big thing for Nintendo to keep screwing up. Since the Wii, I think you could play online, right?
I really just don't. I don't have any other point outside of everything they're trying to. I hate it. Like it's. I can't discuss this one too long because the answer is, or my argument is that simple. This has been around since the 90s. So some of it, little like the 80s. These technologies, they're not new. There's no way, you have no excuse for messing any of this up and the implementation thereof. Don't know what you're trying to prevent. Don't know what it's trying to stop. It all just seems weird and roundabout.
Yeah.
Damn it, like just stop. Make the game only the game and then consult other people for every other bit of the game.
Yeah.
That isn't involved with the game. The marketing, I don't know, maybe they've been okay there.
I think so. I mean,
but
I've heard
when it comes to like integration of networks, when it comes to I don't know, like social interaction, step away. Let's start letting someone else handle those bits of your company, please. This weird amateur, like, there are indie games that come out with more robust features for the internet and connection, leaderboards and things like that than this is coming out with right now. And that just seems so weird to me.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say besides, like, I'm wondering if in 5 or 10 years this will be a thing of the past.
Well, the problem with that is that, let's say, I feel that they can. This is the last time that they can have an okay system.
I think the Switch is great. I don't think that is in danger of, like,
the system itself is great, but what I mean, or system cycle.
As far as enjoying,
this is what they can only have one more just okay system cycle before I think I'm done with Nintendo, and I feel like other people are gonna start jumping ship.
I would hate to see like the new Sony Mario game.
If they don't
get it together.
If they don't get it together, Sega is the precursor.
Yeah, that sucks. It sucks to think about it that way. But yeah.
And then it's even worse because it's not like Sega got out competed. Not necessarily. They didn't necessarily do themselves in. They just got out competed.
Yeah, from what I hear, the Dreamcast is a perfectly capable.
It is a beautiful system, and then some of the games on it actually were pretty damn good.
Virtual On.
Things like that, like I won't say anything about the Sonic games on there, but they got out competed. At least they had somebody who was pressuring them. Nintendo seems to be just
playing in the corner by themselves.
They're playing in the corner by themselves. The corner's fine, but somehow they're halfway to ripping off their own freaking leg, and they're missing an eye. Like, what the hell is going on over there? What are you guys doing to yourselves?
Yeah.
Xbox is out in the field playing, and he's not getting very far, but he's out in the field playing, doing what consoles seem to be supposed to be doing.
Yeah, PlayStation's hard at work. It honestly, like, it feels like I used to be just Nintendo.
Yeah.
And then my brother got a PS2, and that, I'm not saying that's beginning of the end, but like for the GameCube, for the Wii, there weren't a ton of games that I was like, I need to own this game.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the beginning was, the beginning of like, not their fall, but like definitely like their decline.
Yes.
Third-party support started dropping, and now you got like a bunch of shovelware on the eShops.
Especially, actually, and not even just on the eShops. We had a ton of physical garbage.
That's true, yeah. But no, PlayStation has like a bunch of garbage on their eShop.
PS1 has a plenty. PS2 has a fair share, though not too much.
Well, no, there's like a PS4 game called Legend of Black Tiger, and it's an awful game.
Oh, you said PS4?
Yeah.
I thought you said PS1. There's a lot
of crappy PS4 stuff. They're not like that one game we talked about with the Easy Trophy.
Yeah.
Or there's another game called I Am Mayo where you just click X to click on a mail jar and you earn a trophy in like 15 minutes. It's stuff like that. It's like, well, no one's watching this. And I don't want to get too far from the topic, so I'll go back to Nintendo, though. It used to be Nintendo and Sega. Sega fell out with PlayStation coming into its place. And then Microsoft showed up, and you're like, okay, there's no way they're going to like drop out of this. Nintendo and PlayStation are the big contenders.
Right.
Wii sold very well because it was marketed to families.
Yep.
And I think that's the only reason it sold very well.
Yeah,
it had some
definitely.
good games for sure, but a lot of it was like they're experimenting with this stuff. And later on,
Holy
the games.
Holy crap! When I move my hand, it moves the thing, and it's nuts.
Later on, the console dropped the whole motion sensor stuff for the most part. I mean, Skyward Sword was probably like the biggest. Oh, that and Metroid were the biggest proponent of motion sensor controls.
Yeah.
And they were just basically every other game was just use the buttons, shake the control wildly, and then one thing will happen.
Yeah.
And then they got into the Wii U, which was a very confusing mess.
It was.
We know it because we're gamers and we follow this stuff. But people that were like, "Oh, Billy wants the Wii U," what is this? Like, I don't.
I think that's just a black Wii.
Yeah, some people didn't know, and I don't blame them for not knowing. Like, Nintendo really needs to, at least with the PlayStation, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's sequels. Wii U does exactly sound like an expansion to the Wii. Like,
yeah,
it's just a game
because it literally was just a one-letter attachment to the name.
Yeah.
And don't take any tips from Microsoft with their naming. Let's call this one's the Xbox, and now the next one's the 360, and now the next one isn't going to be the 720 or 1080. No, that would make logical sense.
Those names would be dumb too, though.
Because of the rotations, right? You go in the same direction or whatever.
Well, it would just be I don't want an Xbox 720.
I don't know what the solution is there, but I would rather it thematically fit than call it the Xbox One, which is exactly what I would have called the old Xbox.
Xbox Cube.
Like if I wanted to, is that an Xbox or the old Xbox? Oh no, it's an Xbox One. And to me, that would mean that's the old Xbox, the first one.
I would have just said Xbox. Period.
That would be okay too, but I mean, Xbox One, it's not the first one. Yeah. It is the third one, and it has no reason to have the number 1 there.
Hold on, we're not done. Xbox One S, Xbox One X, and then the Xbox One E to complete the trifecta.
Oh God!
Yeah.
Wait, there's S, E, and X. No. Oh, okay.
There's the S and the X though. That's dumb. Like, why?
Just
I sometimes I wonder why they don't just stick with the code name. Revolution sounds so much better than Wii. I understand, like, they wanted the whole image of the two eyes of the little people playing together, but, like...
Oh, okay. I remember they would always, like, bow.
That's why.
Okay.
Remember those commercials where Iwata
that
and
is a sad,
was
that
like...
is a sad, dumb thing to cling on to for the logo. Considering that even just as a fan of Nintendo, I just now, how many years after the Wii came out?
I mean, like I said, it was a family console, and that was the whole idea behind it.
Damn.
It was supposed to be friendly. I don't know, like, if, like, grandma's gonna want to play the Revolution.
I don't know.
Nintendo, just get your shit together, please.
Start acting like...
We are people that have been playing... My first video game was a Game Boy Link's Awakening. I've been a Zelda fan since I was 4 or 5 years old.
Kung Fu, freaking Karate Kid, Mario 2...
Super Mario Land, remember that one?
I remember Mario Land.
Yeah.
I can't... There's a lot of these games that you guys are the reason why I'm even here right now recording this stuff. Is because I started out off of great Nintendo games that, yeah, sure, they were simpler back then, and there were nowhere near as many demands outside of actually making the software that was the core game itself. But that's exactly what we're saying. If that's the only thing you're good at, then stop everything else. Stop your focus on everything else. It's just ruining the one thing that we want from you, which is a damn good game. And if we can get better results in internet connectivity and handling, if we can get better social interaction out of another company, then can stop feeling like you need to be the ones doing everything and get some help from someone else.
Don't look at the competition for inspiration and then ignore everything they're doing. It's like if you go to an art class and the teacher's like, all right, draw a circle, and like, you know what, I'm gonna draw an oval instead. You're gonna get an F because you're not You're not learning.
It's new and it's different, but nobody asked for that.
You don't go to a class for that. You go to like a gallery. Okay.
If you want to, if you guys wanted to be as crazy as you are with your ideas, then go ahead, stick to the indie circuit.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell you guys are going to get back to that, but go ahead, try and stick to the indie circuit. If you guys want to actually progress like everyone's expecting you to be and start acting like a good AAA company, I don't know, start acting like a good AAA company. Outsource some of your stuff. Outsource the stuff we want you to outsource. Not the story and the game.
Stop half-assing it. Go all in, make sure the stuff works, and release a product that everybody is happy with.
I mean, I don't think half-assing it is the right way to say it here.
It's like, no. We'll make you your voice communication. There, you're happy, right? It's like, no, because I can't use this in a convenient manner.
See, but that's what I mean, is that they didn't half-ass.
That's true. They went above and beyond to make it more convoluted.
Exactly. Okay. And that's even worse than half-assing it in the right direction, you know? Yeah. They literally did go through way more effort than ever needed to create a useless item.
Yeah.
That, like we've already said it multiple times, has a solution out there already existent that is perfect, works better than it, and is great.
The Nintendo Online Service has revealed their pricing: $5 a month, or like $10 for 3 months, or $20 for a year.
Right.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, and these are the cheapest.
That is great pricing, and I don't know if that's worth it.
Considering what we're getting for free right now. It's like, I need to see an example of what I'd be paying for.
Oh, plus they are adding those SNES and NES games. They're adding multiplayer to those.
Nice.
I don't know how, we'll see when that comes out, like what that's going to be. But right now, like, being online to play Splatoon is the only, I don't know if I want to play $20 a month a year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got you.
Anyway, I don't want to, like, drag them through the mud. If the games
are going to have these weird limitations, then I better not have to pay to suffer through those limitations as well. I understand you now.
Anyway, I think we're going to call it.
We've gone plenty on this one.
All right. So if you guys agree with us, and if somehow you disagree with us, please let us know.
Regardless of what your opinion is.
Yeah, at GameGo11 on Twitter, or email us at GameGoPodcast@gmail.com.
Or leave us a post at the website, which is GameGoPodcast.com.
Yeah. We're also on Facebook, GameGo.
This will be either on our YouTube or on our iTunes.
Podcast or Apple, Google Play. I'm sorry.
Right. Hope that you're subscribing to any one of those. Leave comments on there. Hopefully you guys are sticking around for the streams. If you guys like live streams, make sure that you're visiting our YouTube page, because we're streaming more and more frequently.
Yes, and we do get a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Scared of Freddy Fazbear.
Freaking Fazbears. But yeah. So, this has been GameGo, a podcast where we talk about video games and whatever else we want.
I say that. This has been GameGo, a podcast where we talk about video games and whatever else we want. I am Sonorith, and with me, as always, is H8BitHero.
Heyo!
We'll see you guys next week.
Bye. Ooh.